If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
How's it going out there, ladies and gentlemen? Well, first and foremost, I want to thank Nestor and everybody at WNST for the opportunity, and I just really appreciate talking sports radio. Well, today I wanted to talk to you guys about something that's near and dear to me, and that's football season. And we're in Baltimore, so it's all about the Ravens. And with training camp opening up today, I just couldn't help but get excited. Now, the one noticeable absence that we all know about is Terrell Suggs. And a lot of people were wondering, how bad is that going to affect our defense this year with Terrell Suggs out until late November, maybe early December, maybe the whole season with his partially torn Achilles tendon. I don't frankly think it's going to be as bad as people say. Now, one might question, well, you're only substituting in for Terrell Suggs, filling guys like Kryglik, McPhee, Arthur Jones, Paul Kruger, and who knows if Sergio Pinkel's finally going to make an attempt to play football, or if he's just going to fall down the stairs drunk again, which is my personal opinion, but that's for another day. So, I think it's going to be an interesting year, though, because it's going to be hugely competitive during training camp. As of right now, it looks like Upshaw and Kruger are going to be the guys, but is that guaranteed? When I was watching the Ravens last year, the one thing that I particularly noticed was Kryglik McPhee is a player that can definitely excel in this football league. He's a big guy, 6'3", 275 plus. He can definitely come off the edge. And he reminds me a little bit of Trevor Pryce, where he's one of those speed to power rushers where he won't necessarily beat you with an upfield move, but he'll definitely fake like he's going with his feet and then come in with the bull rush to push you back. Now, McPhee ended last year with 6.5 sacks. Paul Kruger ended last year with 5.5 sacks, but they were mostly filling guys on third down. How will they adjust to the different reps? I think it's going to be interesting to tell. Are these guys going to come in shape, especially with McPhee just coming off of his knee surgery, getting to the knee scope? Now, another thing that I think is going to be interesting with the Ravens this year is their kicking situation. Now, I know a lot of fans out there, including myself, were extremely distraught with the way the AFC Championship ended last year. I still place more of the blame on Lee Evans than anything, but we all remember Billy Cundiff shanking that 32-yard field goal that would have given us an opportunity to play for a Super Bowl. But I don't think it was 100% Cundiff's fault, and I think he got a bad rep for it. I give him extreme respect for coming back to Baltimore. I thought he would have for sure been run out of the city by now. But at the same time, you also have to look at John Harbaugh with the timeout on the clock, and Cundiff was rushing out there with the rest of the team, and he hurried his kicking motion. As a kicker, you need to establish that routine, which I don't think he had at that time. Now, looking at Cundiff's stats, you would say he certainly dropped off from his career year he had when he made the Pro Bowl in 2010, especially the fact that he was only 1 for 6 from 50 yards and beyond. Also, it seemed like he wasn't getting the same sort of distance he had on his touchbacks, but that was also because guys were taking it out more often. It'll be interesting to see with the undrafted free agent signing of Justin Tucker if he's going to add some consistency to the kicking game, if he's even going to challenge Cundiff, or if Cundiff's actually going to win the job and take the stronghold of the kicking position like he had in the past. And the other thing about Cundiff that bothers me is he has a history of missing short field goals. I got a chance last year to make my first ever road trip to Cleveland, and I saw him miss 2 easy 32-yard field goals. Now I realize it's all the windy conditions of Cleveland, it was raining, but he's still a professional kicker, and for a guy that had an 89.7 field goal percentage going into the 2011 season, for him to miss 9 field goals and end up with a 75.7 field goal percentage, that's not cutting it as a Pro Bowl kicker. I want to see if Cundiff can prove during the preseason that he's still the man and that he can bring back to Baltimore all the touchbacks that he had, especially with the NFL kickoff moving back to the 30-yard line. Another player that intrigues me this year is definitely Dennis Pitta. Now, the tight end group is insanely deep. It's not as deep as the Patriots, as they just signed another stud in Vincente Shenko, another Morgan State product, by the way. But with Devon Drew at third, Ed Dixon was the leading guy last year, but I think it's going to be Dennis Pitta this year. As you watch the games last year, Pitta seemed to be more of Flacco's favorite target. He's also a really good friend of Flacco's, and it seemed like when it came to a clutch situation, Pitta was always there to make that third down catch in addition to Anquan Bolden. Especially in the playoffs, when we needed it most, Flacco took us down the field, and who did he look to? Dennis Pitta, to give us an advantage over the Patriots. Now, honestly, I would not mind if Pitta was the starter, but if we use our tight ends the way New England uses them with Pitta and Dixon, I think it's going to be an interesting year. It's going to be an interesting year with our wide receiver corps. I want to see if Torrey Smith and Tommy Streeter can grow as football players and actually catch the football, and once again get a heavy dosage of Flacco and Rice running it down the field. And I'd like to thank you for my time tonight, and go Ravens!
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.